Okay, so we have to start from Antonio's speech. Now, what Sebastian and Antonio were doing, they were trying to make fun of Gonzalo, right? They were trying to troll Gonzalo or make fun of him. So Antonio says, temperance was a delicate quench. Now, temperance, because Adrian said earlier, it must needs be subtle, tender, and delicate temperance. So, what Adrian was saying that though this island is uninhabitable and almost inaccessible by human beings, but still the temperature of this island is good. It has a warm, pleasant climate or temperature, right? So Antonio takes temperance as the name of a lady. Delicate wench means a young lady. Normally young unmarried woman is known as a wench. So Antonio takes temperance as the name of a lady. So Antonio says that temperance was a lovely girl, right? See, they are a lot of fun has been used here, right? They are playing with words. So Antonio says that yes, temperance was a lovely girl. And a subtle, and he most learnedly delivered. So he says that he is a Sebastian says yes, and sharp-witted, as he most learnedly delivered, as he very carefully in a very skillful manner as he described. Adrian, the air breathes. Now they are talking about different things. Antonio and Sebastian, they are taking temperance as the name of a girl, and Adrian is talking about the temperature of the island. Adrian says the air breathes upon us here most sweetly. The air is very pleasant. The breeze is very pleasant on this island. So now you can make out that they are talking about different things, right? Because Adrian started talking about the weather, talking about the temperature and the climate of the island. So he is continuing with his own speech. And Sebastian and Antonio, they started talking about temperance as a bench, temperance as a lady. Adrian, the air breathes upon us here more sweetly. So Adrian continues with his last statement, which he said, it must needs be subtle, tender, and delicate temperance. The temperature is warm, the weather is very good here. So, and then he further says that the air breathes upon us here more sweetly. The air is very pleasant. The air has a very sweet smell here. So it's good to be here. Sebastian, as if it had lungs and rotten ones. Now, Sebastian again tries to speak against. What they are doing, they will speak, whatever they will utter will be against what Gonzalo and Adrian, they are talking of. So, the Adrian praises the air and the breeze of the island. But Sebastian again contradicts him and says, as if it had lungs and rotten ones. Right? Where is the sweet smell? The air smells like rotten one, as if it had rotten lungs. Antonio, or as it were perfumed by the pen. So Antonio even adds, right? See, pen is a marshy, muddy place, so it doesn't have a pleasant smell. It will have an awful smell, very bad smell. So Antonio says yes, or it as if it has been perfumed like a pen, like a marshy, muddy, damp place. You know, you must have experienced at some point of time in your life the smell which comes from such marshy, damp places, right? So Antonio says, no, it smells like a pen, like a marshy place. Gonzalo, here is everything. Now see, they are talking against the island. And Gonzalo and Adrian, they are talking, they are praising the island. They are praising the weather, the climate, and everything about the island. So Gonzalo adds to what Adrian said. He says, here is everything advantageous to life. So on this island, you will find everything which is useful to life, right? Useful for human existence. Natural beauty is there on this island. The weather is good. The climate is good. The breeze is uh, perfumed breeze blows on this island, right? So this is what they are saying. And Antonio and Sebastian, they are saying that no, the breeze here smells like a pen. It has an awful, ugly smell. Antonio, true. Save means to leave. Now means to live. Means to live means means of livelihood, means of living. Antonio says yes. Here everything is advantageous to life, but you will not find any means to earn a living because there is no work on this island. When people will not live, when there will be no business, no trade conducted on the island, how will anyone find means to earn a livelihood? So Antonio says yes, everything here is advantageous to life, but there are but save means to live means, but there are no means of earning a living here on this island. Of that, there is none or little. So Sebastian agrees to what Antonio said, and he says that yes, means of living, no, none, or negligible means, or there are very little means of living, surviving on this island, or almost none. Negligible means of survival are there. Gonzalo, see, they are not listening to what the other person is saying. Gonzalo ignores what Antonio and Sebastian are saying, and Antonio and Sebastian, they are busy contradicting Gonzalo and Adrian, especially Gonzalo. Right? How lush and lusty the grass looks, how green. So Gonzalo says, Gonzalo again praises the natural beauty of the island. He says how lush and lusty means how fresh, how green the grass is, how rich the grass is on this island. Look how green the grass is looking. The grounded indeed is 20. 20 means brown, the brownish color of the soil. So the Antonio says yes, but I can see the brown colored ground. So Gonzalo said that the grass is lusty means the ground is covered with green lusty grass, right, which is in abundance. But Antonio says the ground indeed is falling. But Antonio, it appears that there is a scarcity of grass and the yellowish brown colored ground is visible. He doesn't find the grass to be luxuriant and lusty on the island. With an eye of green in it. So Sebastian says, yes, there is an eye of green in it means there is just a touch of greenery on this island. Means they are again contradicting what Gonzalo said. Right? Gonzalo said that it is lush and lusty. Sebastian says there is only eye of green in it. Eye of green means small amount of greenery, just a touch, just a hue of greenery in this brown colored ground. Antonio, he misses not much. Antonio says that yes, he misses not much, means he exaggerates, he doesn't miss much. He talked about greenery, so he has not missed much. Right? You cannot say that whatever he uttered, he is for Gonzalo. So whatever he uttered was totally false. He talked about greenery, yes, and we can also see some amount of greenery here. So whatever, he is not completely wrong. We cannot say that Gonzalo is completely wrong or is speaking a lie, because whatever he uttered, there is some amount of truth in it, because he talked about greenery and they can see eye of greenery, right? Means there is a small amount of greenery there. Antonio says he misses not much, means he is not speaking complete lie, or there is not complete falsehood in whatever he uttered. Sebastian, no, he does but mistake the truth totally. So Sebastian says, no, he doesn't utter complete lie or completely false thing, but he is mistake the truth totally, but he misses the truth totally, right? He's very far away from the truth. Whatever he is, speaks, though he doesn't miss the truth completely, but he is rather far away from the truth. Means there is only very little amount of truth in whatever he says. They are now discussing this because of this grass, the comparison of the grass made by these two people. Right? Gonzalo, but the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit. Now he is saying, but the strangest part, but the most exceptional thing about this island, the most brilliant thing about this island, which is indeed almost beyond credit, which is very difficult to believe, is, then he is interrupted. Then he is interrupted by someone. See, because there is a dash. I told you whenever there is a dash, before the person can complete his dialogue, it means that he was not able to complete his sentence and somebody else started speaking. So Gonzalo wanted to talk something strange, something unbelievable about the island. And so he says, but the rarest thing about this island, which is almost unbelievable, which is very difficult to believe, is then Sebastian started. He didn't allow him to complete his sentence. As many vouched rarities are, right? So as there are, which is very, which is almost very difficult to believe, is then Sebastian interrupts and says, as many vouched realities are, as many vouched realities are, as many things which were difficult to believe, but they were confirmed by many people that they have seen those rare things, right? Vouch means when you confirm something. Right? So, as there are many strange things which have been confirmed by people that they have been a witness to this kind of a strange and unbelievable thing. So then Gonzalo completes his sentence. What is it that he finds the most incredible thing or the rarest thing about the island? That our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold notwithstanding their freshness and gloss, being rather new dyed than stained with salt water. See, when you go in salt water, what will happen to your garments? They'll be stained, right? The colors will not appear as bright as they were earlier. So that is the strange thing which that is something which Gonzalo finds very strange, that our garment, that their garment being as they were drenched in the sea. So they have been drenched in the sea because all of them jumped into the sea to save their lives when the ship was being wrecked. So notwithstanding their freshness and gloss. So their freshness and gloss, their shine, it is still there. In spite of the fact that we jumped into the sea and our clothes were drenched, drenched means all wet, that our clothes were all wet in that sea water, right, in that brine, but still the freshness and the gloss of our garments is still there. They didn't lose their freshness and they didn't lose their shine. Their gloss is still intact, but rather new dyed than stained with salt. Instead of losing their shine, what has happened? They appear as if they are now newly dyed. Their colors are looking fresher and brighter. So Gonzalo finds this very strange, right? This is what Gonzalo finds very difficult to believe, that instead of losing their shine and gloss, the garments which they were wearing, see, all of them must be dressed in party wears, right? Nicely dressed, because they were returning from the marriage of King Alonso's daughter. I think I told you this, that all of them were returning from Tunis, which is in Africa, and they were going back to Naples, which is in Italy, right? Why? Because King Alonso got his daughter Claribel. Claribel was the name of King Alonso's daughter, because King Alonso got his daughter Claribel married to the king of Tunis. So all these people, they were there to attend the marriage of King Alonso's daughter. And while coming back from Africa on the Mediterranean Sea, their ship was wrecked by Prospero. Not rather wrecked, because actually it was just an illusion. So Antonio says, if but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies? So again, Antonio has to contradict what Gonzalo says. So he says, if one of his pockets was able to speak, the pocket will start telling that he is telling a lie. He lies. He lies means that Gonzalo is lying. Why? Because what will happen when you will be in the sea for long? There will be a lot of sand in your pocket, right? So that is what Antonio wants to say, that if one of his pockets had mouth or would have been able to speak, the pocket would have definitely said this, that Gonzalo is telling a lie. Because Gonzalo said that the garments are now fresh and they appear better than they were earlier. They seem to be new now. So Antonio says that if his pockets had the ability to speak or had the power to speak, they would definitely say that he is lying. A, or very falsely pocket up his report. Now, see, again there is a pun on pocket, right? Here he said if the pockets would be able to speak. Here what Sebastian said was pocket up. To pocket up something means to cover something, right? To hide something or to cover something. So Sebastian Antonio said if one of his pockets had the ability to speak, he would the pocket would definitely say that whatever Antonio is saying is a lie, because he's saying that the garments seem to be new and the pockets are full of sand and all the dirt from the seawater, from being in the seawater. But Sebastian says, hey, or very falsely pocket up his report. Yes, either the pockets will speak or the pockets will cover up his report, right? Cover up his report means they will cover up the truth and agree with what Gonzalo is saying, right? So, pocket can also pocket up his report. That means cover up his lie, whatever lie he has uttered. Gonzalo, methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we put them on first in Africa. Africa means Africa. So he says that what I feel is that our garments are as fresh as they were when we wore them for the first time in Africa. See, because they were there to attend a marriage celebration. So obviously all of them must have been wearing new garments. So that is what Gonzalo is saying, that it appears to me that my garments are as fresh and as new as they were when I wore them for the first time in Africa at the marriage of King's fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis. Now here is the first reference. So why were they in Africa? Why did they go to Africa? They went to Africa for the marriage of king's daughter, Claribel, to the king of Tunis. Tunis is the place in Africa. And then they start discussing the marriage. Sebastian says, it was a sweet marriage and we prospered well in our return. So Sebastian says, yes, it was a grand wedding, it was a grand marriage, and we are doing well while returning. This is a taunt, right? Means while returning also, we got an opportunity to attend a grand marriage, a grand celebration, and now we are doing well while returning from that great marriage. Tunis was never graced before with such apparent grace. So, see, how do the people of Africa look? I'm not a racist, but then the people of Africa, they are dark complexion, right? And they are not as beautiful as the people born in Italy, right? So that is what Adrian says. Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon. Paragon means incomparable beauty, right? To their queen. Means Tunis, a place like Tunis had never before got such an unparalleled queen. Means our princess, that is Claribel, is the best which Tunis has ever got. Is the best queen which Tunis has ever got in its history. Right? Gonzalo, not since Widow Dido's time. Now see, this is an illusion. Widow Dido. Now Widow Dido, see Dido, now they will start arguing about Dido, right? Well, Dido was from Carthage. Now they have given this explanation of who was Dido. This is an illusion from Virgil's Aeneid, right? Virgil wrote Aeneid, and this is a reference or an allusion from that particular text written by that particular book written by Virgil. See, you can read here. According to the ancient classical mythology, Dido was the queen of Carthage. So Dido, who was Dido? Dido was the queen of Carthage. Now there will be some kind of confusion because few in the company will say that Carthage and Tunis are the same. Carthage is the olden name of or the ancient name of Tunis. But then there will be opposition, like they are being opposed for whatever they are saying. Right? They are just opposing each other. So Dido, who was Dido? But first listen to the reference of Dido. Who was Dido? Widow Dido. Right? So Dido was the queen of Carthage. She fell in love with Aeneas, a warrior and explorer. For a time, all went well. But later Aeneas, because Aeneas was a wanderer, he never stayed at one place. Right? So Aeneas left the island which he was visiting in the course of his voyage. Dido was so heartbroken that she committed suicide by burning herself to death. So, when Aeneas left, what did Dido do? Dido committed suicide by burning herself. Right? Aeneas, while traveling, he went to Carthage, and there he fell in love with the queen of Carthage, whose name was Dido. And then he stayed with that queen for some time. And then, because he couldn't stay at one place for long, right? He was a traveler, so he had to set out on his voyage, and so he left Dido and went away. So Dido felt so bad and was so heartbroken that she killed herself by committing suicide, by burning herself to death. Thus, she is regarded as the symbol of constant but hopeless passion. So, she symbolizes hopeless passion. Hopeless passion means where you don't get what you desire strongly, right? So, the idea here is that Claribel is the woman of great beauty, just as Dido was. So, Dido was also a very beautiful queen, because here he said that Tunis was never graced before with such a paragon to their queen. Means our Claribel is uh, is the best or the most beautiful queen which Tunis has ever got. This is what Adrian said, that Claribel is perhaps the most beautiful. I told you, because the African queens will be like, I'm not saying that they won't be more beautiful, but again, like fair. So that is what Adrian said, that our Claribel is the most beautiful queen which Tunis, which is a kingdom in Africa, has ever got. So Gonzalo contradicts Adrian. Gonzalo doesn't agree with Adrian, and he says, no, since Widow Dido, not since Widow Dido's time. So Gonzalo says that no, before Claribel, Dido was the most beautiful queen. And after Dido, our Claribel is the most beautiful queen. Right? So he contradicts whatever Adrian said. Any problem in this? Anything you want to ask? She fell in. So this is clear. Not since Widow Dido's time. So up to Widow Dido's time. After Widow Dido, if Tunis has got any beautiful queen, it is our Claribel. So Antonio says, widow's plague of that. How came that widow in? How came that widow in Widow Dido? So the Antonio objects that why is he talking about Dido as a widow? Right? He says, widow, curse on it. Why are you addressing Dido as widow? Right? How came that widow in Dido? How did you mention Dido as a widow? Dido was not a widow. Sebastian, what if he had said widower Aeneas too? So Sebastian says, no, he is capable of doing anything. He could have even addressed Aeneas as a widower. When he is calling Dido as widow, then he could have, see, a widow is a woman whose husband has died. And Aeneas didn't die before Dido. Aeneas just left him. So maybe that is why Antonio is saying that why did you, Antonio objects to what Gonzalo said. Gonzalo said, not since Widow Dido's time. So Gonzalo addressed Dido as a widow. So this is something to which Antonio objects, and he says, widow, there is an exclamation mark. Widow, curse on you. Why are you calling Dido as a widow? So Sebastian says, what if he had said widower Aeneas too? Good Lord, how you take it? So he says, why are you taking the words of Gonzalo seriously? He can say anything. He could have even addressed Aeneas as a widower, right? Adrian, widow Dido said you. You make me study of that. She was of Carthage, not of Tunis. Now Adrian objects to the place. Adrian says, you said widow Dido. That widow Dido was the most beautiful queen before our Claribel. So he says, now you are letting me think about it. Let me think about it. And now I am telling you with surety that Dido belonged to Carthage and not to Tunis. Right? I told you that they will start fighting about the place now. So Adrian says that how can you say that Dido was the queen of unparalleled beauty before Claribel when Dido didn't even belong to Tunis, because Dido was the queen of Carthage. Gonzalo, this Tunis, sir, was Carthage. So Gonzalo says, dear sir, Adrian, the present day Tunis was earlier known as Carthage. Adrian, Carthage. So Adrian says, are you sure? The Tunis and Carthage are the same. Gonzalo, I assure you, Carthage. So Gonzalo says, yes, I am very sure of it that the olden name or the ancient name of Tunis was Carthage. We stop here because again there is an illusion of a miraculous half which we will discuss tomorrow. Any queries if you have, you can ask.